Hello there, Mavericks. Welcome to an election day currency recap. It is November 5th. Lots of stuff going on. Let's jump into it. In this session, we're going to go through the news of the day. We did have the RBA come out with some commentary, but other than that, we just had a pretty good bull market across the board.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
All right, let's start out with the news of the day. Overnight, last night we heard from the RBA. They kept rates unchanged, and they actually maintained their hawkishness. They said it's appropriate to keep rates restrictive for the near future. The Aussie firmed a bit on this news, but didn't really go anywhere because we saw Forex was just really contained today because, again, no one's willing to take big positions before the U.S. presidential election has been announced. In the morning, we did get U.S. services PMI that crushed expectations. Now, this is a big beat. This is 2/3 of the U.S. economy, came in at 56. Expectations were 53. So that led to the fifth consecutive up close on a presidential election day in the United States. So again, big moves to the upside. But this did not translate over to Forex. Fairly muted moves here. If you take a look, the dollar had a decent move, down 0.5%, which, you would think the dollar would go up on strong economic news, but it didn't. The Swiss franc that we have liked short for the week also went down, but take a look at this. Everything else, no opportunity whatsoever. So unless you were hunting, an Aussie dollar or Aussie Swiss franc, which I know a lot of our traders, that has been the currency pair they've been looking at. That was a decent trade today, but outside of that, there was really nothing going on. And we expected there to be muted responses going into the election. We take a look at the S&P. It was up 1.2%. Again, like I said, it's the fifth consecutive up day of a presidential election, but this one was one of the bigger ones. This had a much bigger magnitude. Crypto up 1.5%, gold, oil, everything up across the board. And when we take a look at crypto, Bitcoin Cash had the best gain, but I've been laser focused on Bitcoin here in the 68,000, 69,000 range up to the 73,000 resistance. So let's take a look at where we are here on the S&P. And we're still to zero. We're between the moving averages. So as you can see, we had a really nice bounce off the support level. So the 50-day moving average plus this previous support at 5,700 really held. Remember, we had that ugly day last Thursday. And then Friday, that candle was not too encouraging. That long upper shadow tells you there's still some sellers. Monday, the market barely held on for life. And then today was a open at the low and close at the high. They were buying all day long, but it really didn't put us anywhere differently in technical analysis. We've got resistance up here at 5,800. We really need to get above that and to hold it. And I'm seeing a small little bull flag pattern forming here. So once we can get above these areas, then I think we can become more bullish. But until that happens, we're just between these two ranges. We're between 5,700 and 5,800. If it breaks higher, that's going to be bullish on technical basis. If it breaks below 5,700, that's going to be bearish. We do not have any confirmation yet whatsoever. Now, we usually spend a little bit of time on this. I'm not going to spend any time on it whatsoever because, take a look, there's really nothing for the next 24 hours on Wednesday. And really, the only thing that matters is the United States elections. So that's going to be moving these markets, and there's no way to tell what's going to happen. I could tell you my opinion, and I will tell you my opinion, but it's just an opinion. Nobody knows what's going to happen. There could be huge volatility. There could be surprises. We don't know. Just count on there being some crazy volatility possibly in the next 24 to 48 hours. After that, then you can take a look at central banks. We've got the Bank of England and we've got the Fed on Thursday. So I know I'm looking more in the end of the week for my currency trading than at the beginning of the week. So let's go and take a look at some of the things that are actually moving here and find out if there are some trades to be made here in the next 24 to 48 hours. As far as the cryptos go, I've been really focused on Bitcoin just because it's been outperforming everything so much. We take a look at this long term. We can see that this 7,300 has just been some real serious resistance. Anytime it gets up around there, 71,000, 72,000, it breaks down. We know that eventually it's likely going to break out higher. We don't know when. But I do like the way this is setting up because look at this. We have an ascending triangle pattern here pinning us against it. We came down to this exact point and we bounced. We had a nice bounce here. I've been talking about acquiring it here in this range. Acquiring it here in this, 68,000 to 72,000 range. I've talked about how I am pyramiding. I'm taking some selective positions of, a fourth of a position size, a third of a position size, just until I can basically position this for the potential breakout above 7,300. Look, if it breaks below 65,500, you got to bail on it. It's just not going to be a good trade. But look, I really like the accumulating it just a little bit at a time in here for a nice run up and a breakout. If this is the time it breaks out, this is going to be a really nice trade. If this is not the time it breaks out, it's going to be a loss. That is trading for you, but the risk reward is asymmetrical here. The risk is, all right, you're at 65.5, that was about 4,000 points. That stinks. The reward is, hey, this thing breaks out of 73,000 and runs up to 80,000. As you can see, you've got a 3-to-1 risk reward when you take a look at it that way. So I do like Bitcoin on the long side. When we go into the Forex world, it's really tough to find anything that's moving. Here's the yen not moving. The dollar is pulling back, no question about it, but it's still bullish. We could easily have a bounce here, but for right here, right now, it's not a good currency to buy, and we don't like it for short because it's shown more strength than weakness. Swiss franc, pulling back a little bit. We've talked about getting short this one, but we don't have a signal yet. We're not breaking below moving averages. Euro is another one we liked, but you can see done absolutely nothing. We go through all these currencies and there's just nothing going on, which tells us you do not want to be trading in the Forex world right here, right now. It's just not good. I recommend if you're looking at Forex specifically, then you're waiting until Thursday to where we get the Bank of England and the Fed. I think that's when Forex is going to start moving. Before that, I think it's dead money. I think you're just going to get chopped up. When we take a look at the velocity scores, remember, we don't like to trade anything between the -1 and 1. It just says there's not enough movement to make it worthwhile. And you can see that's where everything is except the dollar that's showing some short-term weakness on a pullback. Look, this tells you there is no reason to trade here whatsoever. So I'm not going to even go into showing any potential trades because, frankly, I don't think there is. The only one I want to really point out is what I talked about Bitcoin. But that's only for people looking to capture this breakout to the upside. And I think it could be in that range for a while. So let's just talk about the election because that is what's going to be the big news here. We're going to start getting election results roll in after 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's when the polls close. And look, they're going to call the easy states very quickly. The New Yorks, the Massachusetts, they're going to be called very quickly. And also the Republican ones like a South Carolina and a Florida are probably going to be called fairly soon. There are 7 states that are going to determine this election. And they all count ballots differently. So Pennsylvania can't start counting their mail-in ballots until after the polls close. So we're not going to get a winner for probably at least 24 to 48 hours. I think it's going to be on Friday when we actually know the actual winner to where enough votes have been counted to say this is the winner of the election. Now look, I think, and I said this in the currency room last weekend, that I think if there's a clear victory within a reasonable amount of time, I think the market is fine with both candidates. I think the market is just fine with both candidates. If there is no clear winner and it looks like this is going to get ugly and nasty and get into litigation and possible political violence, all of a sudden, that's where the markets don't like it. And I think if that happens, then look out for selling in risk assets. Look out for selling in the dollar. I would not put the dollar and the rest assets in that camp, and really be looking towards the yen and the Swiss franc to be safe haven currencies if that happens. We have no idea what's going to happen. My guess is we will know by Friday who the winner is, and I don't think we're going to get the shenanigans we got last time. Hopefully. I think there is going to be a clear winner, and I think the market is going to just move on. And I think with the Bank of England and the FOMC, I think that's going to start becoming bigger news than the election itself. So, as I said, we don't know what's going to happen, but I do like Forex starting trading on Thursday. I do not like it here because, look, everything is in the middle. Have fun watching the election results. Everyone take care. Good night.